Along this great journey of mine, I've had the chance to meet some pretty great people. Today I met Elaine. Elaine showed me that you don't have to give everything up in your life in order to enjoy van life. She has a camper van that she parks in the driveway of her home, and she uses it to get away on the weekends and or run away from the nasty winter weather we get here in Canada.
It's not my house, it's my home away from home. Well, my name's Elaine Kettler, and I live in Burnaby, but I love to go on road trips and travel and go see exciting things. I get bored here. And so I decided, after many, many years of caregiving, once that was no longer a responsibility, I thought, I'm going to go traveling. So then I started looking at RVs and things like that and watching videos and going, I really like the idea of being able to kind of be under the radar, because I'm a woman traveling alone. I didn't want it really advertised. So I thought, yeah. And so I started looking at vans and things, and I was talking to my son. He's worked as a tradesman for years, and so he's driven lots of different types of work vans. And he says, Mom, go with a GMC or a Chev. They've got awesome motors. They'll go and go and go. And so when my father went into palliative care and into hospice, we're going, okay, now we can start looking. And so we looked at a few vans, kind of picked 2 or 3 for him to go look at, because I had to pretty much stay there, but he was going to go look at them. And he phones me up and he says, Mom, I think this is going to be it. So we had it all checked out and everything else, and he negotiated a good price. And so I was going to send money with him to make the deal. And my father died during the night. So I got to go, dealt with what we needed to do with there. And then we went out and did the deal and got my van. It was a 2010 GMC 1 ton, and it had the big motor in it. He says, Mom, go with the big motor because you'll actually get better gas mileage. You'll be surprised, but you do. And there was some body damage done on it, so we got a really good deal. It's a 1 ton and it's extended, so I've got a little bit more room. And it was mechanically sound. Needed a little bit of tweaking here and there, but that's okay. We budgeted that in and went and picked it up that same day. And then the fun started. Just kind of gutted it out. There wasn't much in there, but they had it insulated and things like that. Well, I took all that out because I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted it down to bare metal. I fixed any holes in the floor, sold the mat and the partition at the front. So I mean, that helped pay for some of the product, and just started working on it and did some work, made changes, then thought, no, that's not going to work, blah, blah, blah. I've got power tools. I love my power tools. And my husband and I had done a couple of renovations, so knew about building, but nothing in these things is straight. Everything's curved. And GMC vans, they kind of fishtail down to the end. You know, they're a little bit narrower at the back than the front. So it took some figuring out, but got it done. So I did all the work up to the point where all the skins are on the wall. It's insulated in behind, there's strapping, there's air gap for my insulation that I needed. And then got thinking about color, and I'm going, well, some days it can be cloudy and rainy, kind of gloomy. And used to live up in Kitimat, so one of the rooms we had done when we renovated, I painted the ceiling sky blue. I took a photo in and had it color matched, and it was lovely to lay back on the bed and actually look at blue sky, because you forgot what blue sky looked like during the winter. So that's what I did in the van. So everything was done, the floor, everything else was done up until the point of putting the cupboards in. And so I started looking around, and on Craigslist there was this big old oak entertainment unit, and it had these drawers in it that would have had VHS tapes in it, and it had three other little drawers and tons of oak. And I thought, oh boy. So, and it was free, so I went and picked it up, took it to my nephew's place, who was going to be doing the help me build out the cupboards, because he's a carpenter and he's got the big tools, the big equipment and the saw and everything else for doing that. Way beyond what I thought I'd get. Really, really thrilled. And then it was my maiden voyage. I could go. My first trip was down to Arizona. Road trip in the middle of winter. And I really enjoyed it. Camping alone out in the desert. Quiet.
Nice.
Just the whole experience of the whole trip, the road trip. I'd never been there before. It was amazing. First of all, I made the curtains, and they're insulated. So I've got them insulated, and then they just slide over. And I've also got room darkening things that will go over top of it as well. But it's on an I-beam, and it's magnets in here. And then the magnets and washers come together and they snap together. I'm going to tweak them a little bit, but that's it. So I'd leave that shut. Okay, and then this is my battery box. And I've got an inverter here, but I hardly ever use it, so I'm going to take it out and sell it. It's a 1,000 watt pure sine. I hardly ever use it. Then, okay, electrical system. I've got 310 watts of solar on one panel up on the roof. And I did all the schematics and everything else for the whole, you know, what needed to go where and where the wires and what gauge they had to be and all that kind of stuff from the research I did. But my son kind of wired it all up. So this is our second go through, and I did this layout myself, but this is the second one. And but my son, he's dual trade, so electrician is one of them, so I let him do the actual hooking up, because then I knew it was safe, and he double checked my schematics. But I've got a fridge, a big fridge here that I got from a guy in a marina who said he was in the marina so often that he said he was going to go to a different fridge, just an electric one. And I bought this one for $400. So it's an AC/DC. Sounds like a band, yeah. But it's not. So it just runs off of 12-volt batteries or house shore power, right? And I don't have to worry about being level, because it's from a boat. It never level, very seldom anyway. And yeah, so that works awesome, and it's big. Ate lots of fruits and vegetables, so I wanted something to keep my food fresh. So that entertainment unit I got free off of Craigslist. Part of it is here. Anything you see that's oak, it's from that. But look at it. Isn't that cool? So we put the heavy duty slides on it. Stephen, my nephew, modified that one slightly, just made it shorter. But here's the full one.
So
isn't that awesome?
Jealous.
Isn't that awesome? So when I saw that with her VHS tapes, I'm going, pantry.
Oh my gosh, that's a great idea. So you just found that from like an old...
It was a huge oak entertainment unit that was on Craigslist for free. Went and picked it up. The van was empty. I had room, and dropped it off at Stephen's place, waiting for when we could get together and actually do the build.
That's awesome.
You know, the cupboards and stuff. It was fantastic. So in behind here, it's a shoe rack. I modified it because with the weight of it, everything pulled down. So I put plywood in here and bolted it in. Added a second rod here so it sits flush to the front. This here was from IKEA. It was just like a half type thing. And it's got little drawers that pull out. That's my closet. And then I got room for hanging clothes. And even a little cubby space in behind for extra storage. And then, of course, my Jackery. I love my Jackery. I killed a set of batteries because you start out, and I did so much research, and everybody says don't take your batteries down below 50%. And I'm going, okay, I won't do that. And I'm so proud of myself. I'm out on my first trip, and I'm going, oh look, it's only 9. I'm doing great. I killed batteries. Now I know what 50% of a 12-volt battery is, and it's insane. It's 12.2.
Before we go any farther, who's your travel companion? Because I know everybody's been seeing the cat going, there's a cat, there's a cat.
This is Cammie. She's my little traveling companion. She was my late husband's cat, and now she's mine. And she's 13 years old, actually 13 and a half, and she's a Devon Rex. So when you pet her, she feels so different. It's like this soft downiness, and she's a really good traveling companion. She's a house-only cat. And so she's never really been outside much.
So
I don't have to worry.
Before we go any farther, just a note for people. I get a lot of questions about cats. I know nothing about them. But the cat's been sitting there, and this door has been open the entire time. That cat couldn't care less at all.
Nope.
So do you have any problems like going from the home to the van with the cat taking off?
Nope. I just carry her out, and she knows, and she settles in really fast. This is her home away from home. She's been on several road trips. She'll come out and sit on the front step and look. There can be birds flying around, squirrels running by, and she just watches them. She doesn't try to chase them. I can leave the door open. I can go for a little walk. I can come back. She's still in here. I love it. I'm a Value Village queen. I love going to Value Village. So I would go, and as I'm doing this build, and I just go, think outside the box. What do I need? What can I use? Can I make that work? Whatever. Anyway, one of the things I found was this little storage thing, and it's for in the back of the vehicle, and it snaps in. There were snaps already. So I'm going, perfect. So I just screwed the snaps right in. And then I've got storage in here that I can take, and it's handy. Out of sight. This little basket, Value Village. So it's screwed right in there. So, let me see. Screwed right to the wall, and it's not going anywhere. So I can have my little kitchen things there. This thing here, it's a 3M, like a whiteboard, and it's a self stick, but it peels off. So what I do is I've got this, and I'll write my land description where I'm camped at the night. So if I wake up during the middle of the night, I'm in a medical distress, or somebody's trying to break in or whatever, I don't feel safe, I can tell somebody exactly where I am. If it's an address, I'll put an address, but if I'm out in the boonies, from my GPS, I take a land description and it goes up there.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And then I also do it above my, I've got another one right up here, and I do the same thing.
That's smart thinking.
So I saw that on a YouTube video, and I thought, good idea.
That's
good
a great
idea.
idea.
You never know. You never know. And it's easy. And then it's just a whiteboard thing, so you just, we put in LED strip lights up along here. And then I ordered it's a little aluminum track that you can glue them onto, and then a cover over top, because otherwise it's really bright. And this diffuses it down. So I have the switch here for that. And then I also have a little switch, little one strip of it, one run, and I have a last off light right there for reading or whatever. Then I've got my cat litter here, and she's looked after. She's fine. Okay, so this is my kitchen area. I just use a small thing of water and I carry extra in the back. It doesn't take up much room. It's all I need. Don't need a sink. If I need a sink, I have a bowl. And then this is for my cat. This is a little silicone mat from the kitchen area or something at the dollar store. And so there's her water. And it had the little lid, like these little glass anchor things. And I just cut the thing off. So if I'm driving, it sloshes around, it helps hold the water inside there. It's an old Olympian Wave 3. It's an old sucker.
That's a classic. Look at that thing.
I got that off of Craigslist for $50. My son has a gas ticket, so he checked it all over for me, made a couple little adjustments.
That's gotta be the coolest thing I've ever seen.
It swings around, and this is a wheel chuck.
Oh, great idea.
And yeah, I'm thrilled with it. This was a game changer. I hadn't had this in other trips. This was an absolute game changer for keeping warm in the winter. So this here, this comes on here. The leg goes underneath. Fits in nice and snug. So these are stainless steel bolts I had left over. And I can sit here and have a table. So Steven, the Wonder Man, he also put this in for me. It just slides in. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, man, it'd be nice to be able to just have a laptop here or work here. And I went, brainwave. So I always carry tools with me. So I got out my drill and came up with this. Okay, I got this stuff. It's packing material. So I just cut the side of the leg out. That's perfect height.
That's perfect.
Typical for GMC's Chevs is paint peels off. So I had paint peeling off along here and on my fender walls. My back doors were really bad. So with this product called Raptor truck bed lining. So anyway, it's almost like a stucco coating, but it's hard as heck. I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of words of advice here. Don't be afraid to start something. Do your research, but don't just keep on doing research. Don't just keep watching. Make notes of what you think would work for you. Jot them down. Look at places to travel that you really want to go, which will give you even more motivation to actually get going. And as women, think of safety, but don't be afraid. Don't be petrified to go. Traveling alone is a blast. You get to stop where you want to stop. You get to leave when you want to leave. You don't have to wait for somebody else. You don't have to fight with anybody else. you know what I mean? Just do it. And if you don't know how to do something, ask somebody or watch a YouTube video. It's amazing what you can learn. And it doesn't have to be perfect. There's simple van builds out there. And you don't have to live in it full time. There's nobody saying that you have to. I thought about it and I'm going, with my lifestyle, it's just not going to work. And I like my place. I like being able to come home to home base. And I'm a quilter. I need space. But doing this going for a few weeks at a time, a couple months at a time, even a weekend, get a break. During the week, if you can get away, because I'm in a situation I can do that. Places aren't as busy. I love it. And I can go. This becomes an extra bedroom for me if I've got guests come. I come out here and sleep and they can have my room. It's awesome. It's awesome. Just do it. And then you guys have these guys like Chrome that are just out there having a blast and an adventure. He's doing it full time, but you don't have to do it full time. You can still have that adventure. So anyway, thanks so much, Chrome. I really, this was a blast. I love sharing my van.
It was great. If you guys are looking at getting out and living your best life, that's going to start with one thing. You actually following those thoughts in your mind and the feelings in your heart. Even if you start like Elaine and build a camper van and put it in your driveway and use it as a weekend getaway, or that time you just need to unplug. You never know. One day that fully converted camper van in your driveway might be calling your name. Maybe there's going to be a day that you might just give it all up and move into it full time. But you never know until you try it. If you guys enjoy our van tours, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.